Let's face it, we love diets and exercise programs. We love simple instructions that promise magical results. Do this and eat this. Don't do that or don't eat that. And you'll arrive at your perfect sculpted arm results. Not true. Diets and exercise programs are an external solution to an internal problem. Today, we're talking about why we all love diets and exercise programs and love to search for them and read all about them, but know inside that they aren't the answer to your sculpted arms. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Arm Coach Podcast, episode number 30. Welcome back. Today, we're talking about why we all love exercise programs and diets so much and what the real answer to sculpted arms is. I'm your coach, Christine Recker, and I'm so happy that you're here with me for another podcast episode. Let's get started. First, let's talk about what exercise programs and diets are, because America and the rest of the world seems to be totally in love with exercise apps and dieting. Exercise programs and diets are when someone or something outside of ourselves tells us what exercises to do and how to eat, how much to eat and exercise, how exercises should be done, and how the food should be prepared. And it's kind of like a prescription, right? It's a prescription of how to get fit and eat. But exercise programs and diets on a ranking of external things and internal things are really very external. They're a solution to a problem that's internal, and they are external. This is partly why exercise programs and diets don't work well. They're not really getting at a cause of a problem. Exercise programs and diets say, do this, eat that, don't eat this, and you'll get this result. Now, if this worked, you'd only need one exercise program or one diet. You'd only need one book or one plan. So it's not that the exercises or what you eat doesn't count. It does, okay? But it's really also a lot of why you eat and don't exercise, and why you stop or why you don't stop eating when your body's had enough. Exercise programs and diets, that external prescription of what to do and how much to eat, don't get at all the causes of skipped workouts and overeating. Exercise programs and diets help you deal with the symptom, and the symptom of your problem is extra weight and flab on your arms. You try to get rid of that extra weight and flab by changing how you exercise and eat, right? You try to change how you act and get rid of the extra weight and arm flab. But if you remember back in an earlier episode, we talked about how our thoughts lead to take the actions we take and give us the results that we get. If we think about this in those terms, our actions are always created by our thoughts. So if we try to follow a program or diet and we try to change what we do, how we eat, without changing our feelings and our thoughts, we are definitely bound to fail. If we look at arm weight and flab as the symptom of a problem, and we look at the whole symptom and cause relationship, it looks like this. The cause of the extra weight and arm flab is extra eating and not lifting weights. The cause of the extra eating and not lifting weights is how you feel emotionally. The cause of your feelings, good feelings and not so good feelings, is always your thoughts. And that is what we need to go back to work on, to get to lasting and sustainable results with sculpted arms. Now, we like to tackle this problem of having extra weight and arm flab by focusing on the action, by focusing on what we do, what we don't do, what we do eat, what we do not eat, and why do we want to do that? Because that seems easy. It seems direct. Just tell us what to do. That's something that all of my clients would love for me to do with them. Just tell them what exercises to do and what to eat. And I actually do that. In fact, there used to be an old diet book called Just Tell Me What to Eat. Literally, that is what we all want. So, most of the apps and books tell us how to exercise, how to eat, what to buy, how to cook. A lot of exercise and diet books have whole sections where half the book is like a cookbook and it's filled with recipes, right? This is the how to section. But if we look at this kind of advice, it's really outside in advice. We stick to it as long as we can, but then we crash because the things that are driving you to not do your arm exercises, driving you to overeat, are still creating that drive to not do arm exercises or overeat, to eat when we have no physical hunger. They don't take us and the way that we're thinking and feeling into account. They're kind of created for a generic person, and they don't look at what that person is thinking. But we love them still. We just all love anything that will give us 5 easy steps to fixing a problem. We love any kind of how-to guide, right? First we do this, then we do that. The problem is that sculpting our arms is not a linear process. It's kind of all over the place. We can't work backwards. We can't work from the outside in. In order to resolve this problem, we really need to work from the inside out, because the goal and the number one reason why plans and programs and diets do not work is that we need to get at the cause of the skipped workouts and overeating. Then we could change the symptom, which is fat and flab on our arms. We can change our actions and our eating. If we look at sculpted arms from the inside out, that means we need to take a look at what drives us to not do our arm exercises and drives us to overeat. The fat and flab is always the symptom. The fat and flab is not the problem. I know you think that the big problem is my arms are flabby, and in order for me to be happy, I need to reduce the flab and see muscle definition or whatever it is, okay? But this is not reality. The fat and flab on your arms is just the symptom of what's going on inside your mind, inside your thinking. I know this is true because we do not do anything at all, ever, without having a feeling or a thought first. Any action we take, always, including skipping workouts and eating without hunger, always comes from a feeling that you have. And the feeling is always created on what you're thinking. So if we want to sculpt our arms, if we want to change our symptom, then we need to go inside and we need to discover what's causing us to do what we do to put that fat and flab on. We need to take a look at the amounts that we work out and the amounts that we eat and why we skip workouts and why we eat when we eat. The first thing we need to do when we approach sculpting our arms is to ask ourselves two important questions. Am I ready to engage with my body? And am I truly hungry? These two questions work together to create a balance between physical training and mindful eating. Before you pick up a weight or put a bite of food in your mouth, always check in with yourself. If the answer to engaging your body is no, pause and explore why. What's holding you back from showing up for yourself? If the answer to hunger is no, pause again. What's driving the desire to eat? Maybe it's stress, boredom, or an uncomfortable emotion. But if the answer to both questions is yes, then it's time to assess, like, how hungry are you? What kind of energy do you have for your workout? Put a number on it. From there, you can decide how to approach your workout, how intense to go, how much do you eat, when to start and when to stop. This internal clock becomes your natural start and stop button for both movement and eating, guiding you to a more balanced, a more mindful approach to toning your arms and fueling your body. When we overeat or push through workouts mindlessly, we lose that connection with ourselves. We're not hearing our signals. We're looking outside for something else to tell us, like the clock, a workout plan, a diet prescription, or even the tempting food someone else is eating. Maybe you're training because you feel you have to, or eating because it's time, regardless of hunger. But when we do this, we're fighting against our internal signals. And unless we look at that and examine what's driving us, whether it's the urge to skip a workout or the desire to eat when we're not hungry, we're fighting ourselves. We're fighting our own desire. If you're not physically hungry, you need to look at why you want to eat. If you're not motivated to work out, ask, why are you resisting? Often it's tied to emotions or mental blocks that we don't want to face. So we turn to food or avoid exercise. Then, instead of addressing the real reason, we blame ourselves for overeating or skipping a workout. And this cycle of self-blame distracts from the real issue and doesn't lead to lasting change. In this case, let's make up a scenario. Okay, let's say you set a goal to tone and sculpt your arms, but something happens that throws you off track, like, I don't know, a bad day at work. Maybe your boss gave you a performance review that wasn't great, and it's clear that it wasn't just in your head, it really just didn't go well. So you might think, that was awful, I'm failing. You start to feel insecure, worried, or ashamed. And what do? You reach for your favorite mind-numbing food and eat to soothe those feelings. This is how extra weight starts to accumulate on your body and your arms, and then you feel even worse about how you look and your progress. This cycle of emotional eating and self-criticism repeats itself again and again. But what I want you to do is view this as simply a problem to solve, one that can be addressed with awareness and a different approach. You're going to ask yourself, if I wasn't physically hungry, why did I eat? What was I feeling when I grabbed that snack and kept going? Most likely, you were telling yourself something that didn't feel good. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed. And you used food to block out those uncomfortable feelings. If your goal is to stop overeating so you can shed extra weight and feel more confident with your arms, then your mission becomes this. Notice every time you eat and when you're not hungry, and ask yourself where that desire came from, because you know it always starts with a thought. If you can catch that thought before you grab food or skip your workout, you're in a position to take control. You can then ask, I eat when I'm hungry. So what's really going on here? What do I actually need? If you don't ask these questions, it's like having a broken arm and trying to fix it with a small Band-Aid. That Band-Aid won't heal what's happening inside. Just like that Band-Aid won't fix a broken arm, food won't fix a painful emotion. It's the wrong solution for the problem you're facing. That wrong solution, extra food or skipping your workout, leads to two things, and neither of them is relief. First, it adds extra weight to your body, moving you further from your goal of toned arms. Second, it fills your mind with negative thoughts, making you feel bad about yourself. You feel stuck in a cycle of doing something you don't want to do, and you don't know how to stop. But by shifting your focus inward, you can start to recognize these patterns. Instead of using food to escape uncomfortable emotions or avoiding a workout because of self-doubt, you'll be able to address the real issue and create lasting change, both in your body and in your mind. This is why when it comes to sculpting your arms and managing your body, you always want to go inside to see what's causing the extra weight or resistance instead of putting a band-aid on the problem. Just like a diet doesn't fix emotional eating, forcing yourself through a workout without addressing what's really going on mentally won't lead to lasting results. When you take care of your thoughts and emotions on a regular basis, there's no overeating or skipping workouts to escape anything. You're working out and eating for the purpose they were created: food to nourish your body and exercise to strengthen and sculpt it. And yes, workouts should be empowering and food should be delicious. So now that you understand that the inside solution, working on your thoughts, is the answer, you'll see that no more eating to feel better and no more forcing workouts are necessary. We're not relying on a strict diet or rigid exercise plans to achieve toned arms. When you focus only on external actions like dieting or exercising just because you think you have to, without understanding the emotions or thoughts driving your behavior, it's like slapping a band-aid on a broken arm. If your overeating or skipping workouts isn't caused by something external, like a stressful day at work or a family conflict, then simply eating less or forcing yourself to work out won't solve the problem or make you feel better. The real solution comes from addressing the internal cause. If you're avoiding your workout because you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or discouraged, that's where you need to focus. When you learn how to feel good in your life without turning to food or avoiding exercise, you'll stop looking for the next magic solution to get toned arms. You'll stop relying on external fixes like crash diets or punishing workout routines. Instead, you'll know that to achieve your goals, whether it's losing extra weight or building strength in your arms, you need to go inside and figure out what you're thinking and feeling that's causing you to overeat or resist showing up for yourself again and again and again. I know I've given you a lot to think about. And if you're like many of my private clients, you might feel a little disappointed, wishing there was some secret workout plan or diet that would magically tone your arms, no matter what you were thinking or feeling. But the truth is, lasting results come from addressing the real cause of your habits, whether it's overeating or skipping workouts, not from trying to patch things up with external fixes. For now, take some time to reflect. When you catch yourself searching for that magic solution and not finding it, remember to look inward instead. I truly, truly appreciate you, and I hope you keep giving yourself the gift of these episodes, treating them like your own personal coaching sessions. All right, see you next week.